to success in thoroughbred racing, the one ingredient that is an absolute necessity is faith, something Leonard Lavin had plenty of this year on Breeders' Cup Day.
Well, I really thought we could win. That's why I made a substantial wager on her.
It's One Dreamer headlong into the final furlong. It's Gary Stevens imploring her for one more furlong. Beverly Prize on the outside, and now Pat Day asking her for her best. It's One Dreamer trying to hold on for
I could see when Heavenly Prize came to her that she wasn't going to go by no matter what happened. And that's exactly it. And if I remember correctly, Shug McKay, after the race, said his horse ran a great race, and I believe she did. I don't think anybody was going to beat One Dreamer that day.
Lavin is the chairman of Alberto Culver, which sponsors the $1 Million Breeders' Cup Distaff, and is perhaps best known as the manufacturer of the Alberto VO5 line of beauty products, whose packaging inspired Lavin's orange, white, and black racing silks. At 75, Lavin still channels most of his energy into the company that he and his family built. But this busy executive always manages to find time for his thoroughbreds.
Well, I've been 100% involved in my business. I built this business, or helped build it, I should say, from scratch. We started out with $100,000 in sales, and this past year we wound up with $1,200,000,000 and some odd million. And I put a lot of my effort and energy into it. Thoroughbred racing, or being involved in the industry, is a form of relaxation for me. So I'm all done going through my papers at nighttime just to pick up the racing form or to read a thoroughbred publication. Relaxes you like a good novel would. So it gives you something to look forward to all the time, and you have to.
Although they carry the colors of Alberto Culver, Leonard Lavin's thoroughbreds actually campaign under the banner of Glen Farm, named for the 300-acre base of operations located here in beautiful Ocala, Florida. At one time owned by Jock Whitney and named Green Tree Stud, Glen Hill is now home to 115 of Lavin's thoroughbreds, including the now retired One Dreamer. For over 25 years, there's been no place for Leonard Lavin like Glen Hill Farm.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's all rolling land and Spanish moss trees. We put our own track in there, and we put 3 or 4 summer barns on as well. We fenced off the fields. There are at least 60 acres or more per field now. And we run some cattle on it just for the benefit of the soil. Beautiful. I don't get down there enough, frankly.
While Lavin has a soft spot for Florida, that takes nothing away from his allegiance to Illinois racing, which has been in the news lately when Arlington International owner Richard Duchessois nearly closed his track to live racing in 1995, saying he couldn't compete with the riverboat casinos in the Chicago area. While a compromise has been reached for a 55-day meeting next year at Arlington that will be subsidized by the area's other tracks, Duchessois claims he will ultimately need a casino license of his own in order to compete with the boats. But Lavin disagrees.
The track owners here are representing the thoroughbred industry, and frankly, I don't believe they should. I don't believe their interest is the same as the horsemen. Their interest is how much money they can make, not the development of the industry. Or I've never run across a racetrack owner yet who's willing to invest in building the business.
Do you think a racetrack has to become a casino as well as a racetrack?
Absolutely not. It would pull away from racing. There's no two ways about it. All these people are just hungry. They want to get into the gambling industry because they think there's an extra dollar they can make for it. But what they're doing is they're moving away from the core business. And in my opinion, when they do that, they'll destroy themselves in the long run.
All the controversy in Chicago concerns Lavin, but doesn't begin to diminish his enthusiasm for the sport, which he's followed since childhood. He's owned and raced some great ones, including the Mare Convenience and One Dreamer's sire and leading stallion Relaunch. Lavin still owns half of Relaunch, who's consistently ranked as one of the world's top stallions. It's the special ones like these that renew Leonard Lavin's faith in what this game is capable of. And that keeps him looking and hoping for the next One Dreamer.
Well, when you get a mare or you get a horse that's consistent, that tries and tries hard all the time, it means a great deal to you. It's like having an employee that you know you can count on that's going to be there and going to do their very best. That's all you can ask. You know, this business is so uncertain. You've got some that, there are many thoroughbreds who have great speed, and yet they don't have it here. And that's what I happen to admire.